everyone. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching this from. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I approach a painting right from the beginning till the end. I've picked a traditional topic for this one, and as you can see in the background, it's a young Odissi dancer. I've already sketched it using chalk. You can use any other medium to sketch it. You can paint it directly with any color paint that would be visible on the canvas. I personally like chalk because I think it's quite forgiving, and as I can easily get rid of the mistakes while I'm sketching. I've picked black canvas for this one because the colors of the dresses of the dancers are really vibrant, and I wanted the colors to really pop out, and that would be best on a really dark background. That's why I picked a canvas that was already prepped and black all over. I'm really looking forward to this painting, and I hope that you're as excited as I am. So how I achieve this effect of giving the red background depth is by coating many different layers of the color red. I started off with one base coat which covered most of the canvas. I left some empty black spaces in between, and I repeated the process with about 7 to 8 times. Yes, this is 7 to 8 coats of paint. It may not feel that way, but it really takes that much to get this amount of color onto the canvas. The black color really soaks in the paint, and whatever you paint on it pretty much appears as if it's black, as long as it's a dark color. So to give the effect of the folds of the fabric, I'm imagining a curtain in the background. So to give it the effect of folds, you can see that I kept leaving some dark lines in between, and just ran across the canvas with, say, bright red lines. This is the motion that I used pretty much for the entire background. Now let's talk about the image of the girl. All I've done here is just blocked in the image with different colors so that it gives me the semblance of a girl. This is by no means the final product, and don't get worried with how shabby it looks right now. I didn't bother about getting clean lines in or even the right colors, and you can decide to do it this way, or you can choose to just attempt one part of the image at a time. Maybe you can pick the face first, or just the hands, or just the dress. Frankly, it doesn't matter much. While a lot of different artists prefer to start right from the background and move up front, I would say it's totally a matter of your preference, especially with acrylics, because they're really forgiving and you can paint over them in case you make any mistakes or you want to change the effect you last painted. I really follow my mood. If I'm in the mood to do the face first or the dress, whatever catches my fancy in that moment, I just pick that up. I like to color block the entire image in one go instead of just picking one element at a time. Imagine that the light source is falling from this direction. You can see that even in the folds of the curtains. As I said, I put one brighter line, I left a little dark. Then I put a brighter one and I left a little darker one. Similarly, if you look at the girl, I painted lighter tones on this side. Imagine the light is falling from this side, and her behind is left darker. The way I gave this darkening effect is just using a lighter coat of the same paint to let the black of the canvas show through. It's as easy as that. I've used burnt sienna and titanium white for the face. I've just used crimson lake again for her lips and for the border of her dress. I've used the Cerudian blue for the base of her dress. Hi, I'm back. Here are the colors that I've used for the face and the skin. It's burnt sienna, raw sienna, and then this titanium white. To get the darkest shades, the shadows on the skin, I mix the burnt sienna with the raw sienna. And then for all the lighter shades and the highlights, I keep mixing a little bit of white with this color to get the next lighter shade. And then a little more white to get the next lighter shade. You can go as light as you want until you reach your desired state of the lightest color. And you can see that it's the same shade and the tone just keeps getting lighter and lighter because I'm using the last resultant mixture to add in more white to get the lighter tone. If you see, for my darker shade, I pick up the first mixture of the burnt sienna and the raw sienna, and I paint in the shadows. In line with the light, those will be highlighted, and anything that's in the shadows should be made darker. If I move on to the lighter shades, I take on the next shade with a little white mixed in, and I go adjoining to this darker color that I had made. My brushes are extremely important, whether it's makeup, whether it's painting, because you saw how the brush strokes I was getting when I was using the flat brush. It was not gonna get me the blended effect that I wanted at all. It was resulting in harsh lines, and that's where this brush comes in handy. I still like my paintings to have a bit of a contrast, whereas maybe in the photograph or in real life, the contrast between the shadows and the highlights may not be as stark. I still like the painting to be a little exaggerated in that respect. I'm going to attempt her headgear now. It's made primarily of white flowers, and so I'm going to let the base remain black. I'll add a layer of gray on it, and then I'll go over it again with white so that it gives depth to the petals. All right, let's try. I'm mixing black and white. All right, I've painted the dress's border and also the red strings here on which these silver trinkets in her belt are tied. I'm now going forward. I'm now going on to paint the jewelry. I'm gonna keep it really light and simple. The girl in the photograph that I'm actually using as a reference, which is this, is really wearing very heavy jewelry. This isn't showing very well on the picture. Okay. Is wearing really heavy jewelry, but I'm going to try and keep it a little light so that it looks like a painting, and not too busy. Okay. All right. I think this is out of focus. I'm almost done with the necklace, and I think the dress also looks pretty much done. I've put in the little round trinkets that are hanging from her belt. I think they need a little bit of more work because they're looking quite like dull pennies, but in fact I like the look. I'm very close to calling this painting done. Just a little bit more work on the trinkets hanging on her belt. Some finishing touches on her hands. And oh, I forgot her earring, the long dangler earring. So let me do that. I'm doing the bangles. I've done the base with gray, and now I'm just using bright white for some highlights on the bangles. Let me get some fresh white. So this is, I'm giving the highlights to the bangles in white. First I did a base in gray. Okay, with this we come to the end of this video. I hope I was able to walk you through the entire process that I follow, and I really enjoyed making this painting, and I loved sharing it with you. I hope you enjoyed the process as much. Thank you very much. Please leave your feedback. And also let me know what other things you would like to see so that I can take those into account when I make my future videos. Until then, happy painting. Thank you. Bye-bye.